We want to welcome back Newt Gingrich, former Speaker of the House and author of his latest book, Real Change, now in paper book. Thanks for being with us.
Glad to be here.
Let me begin with what you write this morning in the Washington Examiner. Quote, fraud and abuse in America's healthcare system cost taxpayers hundreds of billions of dollars a year, more than enough to pay for high-quality private insurance for every uninsured American. But you say, for whatever reason, Congress ignores this massive pot of money. Powerful House Energy and Commerce Committee Chairman Henry Waxman in particular. How so?
Well, Congressman Waxman has been actively involved on health issues since the 1970s. Has chaired the Health Subcommittee as well as chairing the full committee. In all that time, there's never been a serious, methodical effort to improve the amount of fraud we have with Medicaid and Medicare. The New York Times estimated that there is about 10% pure fraud. I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm not talking about waste. People who are thieves. About 10% of New York State Medicaid is stolen. It's about $4.4 billion a year in New York alone, in Medicaid alone. Now, I'll give you two easy examples. In New York State, there was a dentist who was filing 982 procedures a day. Now, I mean, nobody disputes that's theft. There was a dental office in Brooklyn that the New York Times reported on where they had somebody who stood out front and said, if you'll loan us your Medicaid card for 30 seconds so we can do an imprint, we'll give you a free DVD player. That's just plain theft. In South Florida, they found 5 pizza parlors which had applied to the federal government to be HIV/AIDS transfusion centers and were getting paid for HIV/AIDS transfusions, even though they were pizza parlors. Now, I mean, you go down this list, Carrie Weems, who was the head of the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, told me in December about a case they just ran across where a doctor filed for 4 colonoscopies on a patient the same day. And to which my response was, frankly, I hope that's fraud. I mean, you'd hate, but you start down this list, and Jim Froeg at our Center for Health Transformation has a new book out. It's out electronically now. It'll be out in hardcover in late August. It's called Stop Paying the Crooks, and it has 13 co-authors, and they outline systematically how we could save money on fraud and on basically theft in Medicare and Medicaid.